Moments ago, everything changed. A hidden chamber beneath the church sealed off for decades was finally opened. And what they found inside? Not a coffin, not a relic, but a stone. Ancient, cold, carved, and on that stone, one name, Chrisean Rock. Yes, Sue, heard that right? Chrisean Rock's name wasn't written with ink. It was etched into solid stone buried beneath holy ground. Like a prophecy, a warning, or a curse no one can explain how. No one knows why, but here's the terrifying part. That stone has been sealed beneath the church for over 100 years. So, how is her name there now? Was it always there? Was she chosen? Or has something far older been waiting for her? Beat. Silence. Then a slow pan to the stone. One word. Chrisean, and this is just the beginning. They thought it was just old folklore. Just dusty superstition passed down by elders who couldn't let go of the past. But now it's real. And her name, Chrisean Rock, is carved into stone. Let's go back. The church in question, St. Elijah's House of Spirit, was built in 1897 on land that locals once called the Silent Ground. Why? Because for centuries before the church existed, nothing ever grew there. No birds flew over it, no animals passed through. It was dead land. People avoided it. Even native oral history spoke of it being a resting place for something watching beneath. But in 1897, a group of settlers built a church right on top of it. Why? Because they believed they could seal what was there, bind it, trap it under stone and prayer. And for over a century, it worked. Until now, the forgotten JOUR any year this year. During a routine renovation of the church's old foundation, a janitor stumbled across a crumbling leather journal inside a cracked wall. It was written by Pastor Wilford Hale, the church's first ever leader. The entries were disturbing. I've sealed the chamber. The whispers have stopped. But at night, the floor groans. Something is not sleeping, is waiting. Another entry, dated 1901, read, "The name has come to me, a woman not yet born. But when she enters the sanctuary, the stone will awaken." That name. It was scratched violently across the last page. Chrisean Roach, an early misspelling, or a phonetically written omen. Either way, the resemblance to Chrisean Rock is undeniable. A church with a PATTR in the last 30 years. Every woman who stepped onto that altar and experienced a spiritual event shared something chilling in common: random seizures. That science couldn't explain, recurring dreams of faceless men, visions of an underground space calling to them each time. The church buried the footage. Each time it was dismissed until now. Because this time it wasn't just a seizure. It wasn't just a vision. It was an awakening. And the one who triggered it, Chrisean Rock. Is she connected by blood? Squashian theory has emerged online, and it's gaining traction fast. One Reddit user claims to have accessed genealogical records linking Chrisean's family line to a Haitian spiritualist who was exiled in the late 1800s for leading a forbidden ritual that was said to summon something older than God. That spiritualist, her name Roseanne Roach, again, Roach, Rock people, are now theorizing that Chrisean was never just a celebrity walking into church. She was the returning key to something sealed generations ago. Her presence was the trigger. Her name was the lock. The foundation, STONE. The footage leaked last night shows something that left everyone breathless. Underneath the church altar, a hidden hatch was discovered, a square slab that had never been disturbed. When they lifted it, they found the stone, heavy, ancient, covered in markings. But at the center of it all, in perfect modern script, CHR, Rock Stone, carved beneath. Stone. How is that even possible? The stone is confirmed by geologists to be over 500 years old. But her name, written in the exact style of today's English lettering, looks like it was carved just days ago. One scientist fainted on the spot. Another refused to return to the site, saying, "This stone violates time." Was this destiny? Oh, our design. The biggest question now burning across the internet. Did Chrisean walk into this, or was she summoned? Was her public breakdown, her media scandals, and her chaotic path all leading to this one moment? One spiritual analyst put it best. It's as if her entire life was engineered by something, just to bring her back to this church. And the final twist. Pastor Elijah Brooks, the man who discovered the stone, hasn't been seen since. His final recorded words caught on a hot mic right before the live stream cut out. She's not the first, but she'll be the last, because whatever was buried, whatever her name was connected to, it's awake now. And the real nightmare is just beginning. When they found Chrisean Rock's name carved into the ancient foundation stone, it didn't just raise questions. It triggered a chain reaction that no one, not the church, not the believers, not even Chrisean, was prepared for. Because the moment that slab was uncovered, things started to change. Lights in the sanctuary began to flicker violently at night. The organ played a single drawn-out note at its own. And the stone itself, it began to warm up. Yes, you heard that right. Paranormal investigators who came in to inspect it wore gloves and infrared sensors. They confirmed that the stone radiates heat from the carved name alone. But only when Chrisean is present. Chrisean's breakdown BGNS that same week. Chrisean posted and immediately deleted a chilling Instagram story. A black screen, her voice whispering, "I see him in mirrors. He's calling me back." Her fans were confused. Was it a lyric? A joke? But those close to her say she hasn't slept in days. She reportedly told a makeup artist backstage at a podcast shoot, "There's a humming in my bones. Like the ground is trying to talk to me." Multiple witnesses confirmed she's been sleepwalking, found twice in hotel hallways, whispering phrases and languages no one could recognize. One night, she was caught on security footage standing completely still for over 47 minutes, facing a wall. The only sound in the clip, her repeating the phrase, "Bind it, break me, bury it." Leaked voice note. This wasn't accidental. Then came the leak. A private voice note, allegedly sent by a church administrator to another staff member, hit Twitter X and immediately went viral. They knew she was coming. They planned for it. That stone was never meant to stay buried forever. And the pastor, he let it happen. Wait, what? This wasn't an accident. Was Chrisean lured to the church? Was the live stream, the breakdown, the possession, all orchestrated? Insider betrayal. The man behind the scenes. A new name surfaced in leaked documents. Reverend Marlo Kane, retired church elder who allegedly funded the most recent renovations. Turns out, he'd written several unpublished sermons titled, "The Vessel Must Be Known, Roach," and "The Risen Stone, She Will Be the Bell." He reportedly knew about the prophecy, knew the name, knew the connection, and he stayed hidden in the background. Until Chrisean arrived. A new Reddit thread broke it down. Kane arranged the church's online exposure. He pushed for the live broadcast of Chrisean's visitant. He may have been the one to uncover the stone. Intentionally, was this not a haunting, but a ritual in disguise? Chrisean's bloodline matches the prophecia. Spiritual historian named Dr. Leona Vanes came forward after studying the markings around the stone. She decoded one passage that translates roughly to, "One born of flame, and chaos shall call the name, and the sealed will rise." She ran it against Chrisean's documented birth date, location, and family lineage. Her conclusion? It's her. Every single mark matches. She was the one. This wasn't random. She was born to break the seal. The internet exploded. TikToks flooded timelines with the hashtag "She is the seal breaker." Fan theories went deeper. Some say she was chosen to trap the entity inside her. Others believe she's its daughter. A few even claim the real Chrisean vanished the moment the name was read aloud, and the person now standing in public might not be her anymore. Hidden footage revealed. The stone MOVD. Then came the footage. A camera hidden in the choir loft, caught something the live stream didn't. After the main service ended, after the cameras were off, 3 staff members entered the sanctuary. They approached the stone. 2 of them prayed, 1 knelt, and then the stone moved. On its own, shifted 2 inches, and beneath it, something pulsing. The clip ends abruptly. But the silence afterward has been deafening. The church is now under full lockdown. No press, no visitors. No live streams. They claim it's for spiritual cleansing. But insiders say they're trying to hold something in. The child's connection, an unholy link. And now the focus shifts to her child. Because over the last few nights, the child has reportedly been drawing circles on the floor of Chrisean's hotel room. Circles that match the symbols etched around the stone. One babysitter quit immediately, saying, "He stared at me," then whispered, "We're going back under." The father, Blueface, filed for emergency legal protection, claiming Chrisean's spiritual state poses a threat. But what if the child isn't in danger? What if he's part of the awakening? Everything is unraveling. The prophecy, the stone, the church, Chrisean herself, and the final message written across the top of the stone. It's now been translated by scholars. It reads, "She will rise, and the seal will break with her bones." But what does that mean? Will Chrisean survive this? Or is her role not to live, but to be the final sacrifice? The stone moved. That alone should have been the end of it. But instead, it was just the beginning, because once the ancient slab beneath the altar shifted just 2 inches, everything changed. The seal is CRA Sakianj began with sound. Church maintenance staff reported hearing low, rhythmic thuds beneath the sanctuary floor, like breathing. Then came the dreams. Volunteers, deacons, even unrelated visitors began waking up screaming after visiting the church. Each described the same vision: a staircase made of blood, a woman always faceless standing at the bottom, and a voice whispering, "You let her in. Now she lets me out." Audio from inside the church picked up interference frequencies previously only detected near fault lines and military testing zones. Geologists were called. They drilled into the foundation, but what they found was hollow. Yes, beneath the church is a massive, unnatural cavity, space no one knew existed. One scientist simply said, "This was carved out, but not by human hands." The ritual was never CIOMPLITDDR. Leona Vanes, the prophecy expert, revealed a devastating twist during a live stream viewed over 13 million times. After decoding more of the stone's carvings, she discovered something chilling. The original founders of the church didn't seal the entity. They simply postponed its rising. The carvings weren't part of a binding ritual. They were part of a timed release. And the key to that release is Chrisean Rock's bloodline. But here's the real shocker. The seal doesn't break immediately. It breaks in stages, and the next stage begins when the vessel is fractured. Chrisean's spiral CONTAs. Meanwhile, Chrisean has all but disappeared from public view. Her team has canceled appearances. Her social media is being updated by management, but leaked footage paints a very different picture. A hotel staff member secretly filmed Chrisean sitting on the floor of her suite, completely still, eyes wide open. The TV is off. The lights are dim. She's muttering a phrase under her breath. "I see below, I see before, I see beneath the veil." She has scratched marks into the wall. Circles, teeth, eyes, and most disturbingly, a crude drawing of the very stone found beneath the church. But there's something new. A second name drawn beside hers. The child's name, APPARS. That name? Kazari. No one knows what it means. It isn't her stage name. It's not the child's real name either. But when asked about it by a nurse, Chrisean allegedly said, "That's not what I named him. It's what he told me his name was." And then came the leak that no one was ready for. The blood ritual Klipa short. Distorted video, 22 seconds long, began circulating on Telegram and the dark web. It shows Chrisean in a dimly lit chamber, surrounded by three robed figures. In front of her is a bowl of dark liquid. She dips her hand in, then presses it against the stone. Her voice echoes, "Take from me." Leave the boy. The feed cuts. No date, no location. But the stone in the background? Identical to the one under St. Elijah's Church. The church opens and then COLLCCs, the church. Briefly reopened for public prayer, experienced mass hysteria. Over 40 attendees reported blinding migraines upon stepping near the altar. 9 fainted. 1 began screaming in an unknown language. Cameras caught a shadow darting behind the pulpit. Experts examined the footage frame by frame. And there, for just a split second, a horned silhouette behind the stained glass cross. But only visible when Chrisean's name was mentioned. A priest who attended the reopening declared, "This is no longer a place of worship. This is a gate. And it's opening. Industry FALOUT, the entertainment industry is now in damage control. Chrisean sponsors are pulling out. Publicists are refusing to comment. But insiders are whispering, this is bigger than her. They knew about the prophecy, Alette. They could use it for media. Now, rumors are swirling that her entire rise to fame was orchestrated by a group known only as the Circle of Eight, and the church may have been one of their oldest outposts. The final reveal, the door beneath her. Final drone scan under the church foundation revealed something utterly terrifying. A doorway, massive, sealed, ancient, but now. The stone in front of it, it's cracked, widening, slowly, and painted in crimson above it, in handwriting too modern to explain. We are not waiting anymore. It's no longer about prophecy. It's no longer about Chrisean Rock. Something is coming through, and it's been calling her since birth. They thought it was just a viral moment, a meltdown, a possession, a publicity stunt gone too far. But now, the world knows better, because with each leak, each sighting, and each chilling whisper from beneath the church, it's become terrifyingly clear. This isn't just Chrisean Rock's story. This is a warning, and no one is safe. The internet divides fear vs. WORSHIP. Social media is no longer arguing. It's splintering. On one side, hashtag pray for Chris, EAN. Trending worldwide with millions of terrified fans begging for an exorcism. A deliverance, a reversal, something to save her. But, on the other, something far darker. Hashtag she is the gate. Hashtag KAZARI is coming. Hashtag worship the stone. Yes, actual cult-like movements are forming online, claiming Chrisean is the bridge between worlds and that what's rising beneath the church is meant to cleanse the world. 1 user wrote, "This isn't evil. This is evolution. She is the chosen mother of rebirth." TikTok accounts are going viral by channeling her energy. YouTube lives are looping the stone footage. Even children are mimicking the drawings. Parents are panicking. Celebrity panic and division. The entertainment industry is imploding. Nicki Minaj unfollowed. Chrisean tweeted, "Y'all need to stop playing with spirits you don't understand. That girl ain't walking alone no more." Kanye West did the opposite, posting a photo of Chrisean in front of the church with the caption, "They did it to Jesus too." Even Beyoncé's official fan site changed their homepage to black, with just one word, return. Music labels are pulling her catalog. Streaming platforms are flagging her content for potential spiritual interference. Some churches are even banning her name from sermons. And yet one global artist announced they're producing a track sampling her ritual audio. The chaos has entered pop culture, and no one can stop it. Government involvement? This morning, an emergency town hall was held in Baltimore. City officials, health authorities, and church leaders gathered after a 12-year-old girl was hospitalized for speaking in tongues and drawing the stone's carvings on her school. Her parents claimed she had been watching the stone video on a loop. The city's cybercrime unit is now flagging footage of the church and Chrisean's live streams as emotionally hazardous content. There are even rumors, unconfirmed but rapidly spreading, that a Department of Defense psychological threat unit has been briefed on the case. Why? Because seismic monitors near St. Elijah's Church have picked up repeating pulses underground. Pulses that appear timed, growing stronger. The church burns and the stone remains late last night. Fire broke out at St. Elijah's. Eyewitnesses reported seeing flames erupt from inside the sanctuary, followed by a massive roar that shook windows 3 blocks away. By morning, the entire church had collapsed. But when emergency crews sifted through the ashes, the stone was untouched. Not scorched, not cracked, still warm, and beside it new writing. Not engraved, not carved, peered in fresh blood. You opened her. You cannot close her. Officials are denying access. But drone footage confirms it, and the question everyone is now asking, who wrote it? Public meltdown, global fae rocks the world. People are reporting collective dreams. Mass anxiety spikes. Unexplained fainting episodes in churches across Africa, Europe, and the US. NEW's anchors are stumbling during broadcasts. Some swear they hear a whisper in their earpieces when they say her name. One clip from a Romanian pastor is going viral. The name carved in the stone is not just a name, it's an invocation. And every time it is spoken, the seal weakens. Chrisean's child missing. The most terrifying development of all. The child is gone. Chrisean's management team released a statement saying the child is safe and in retreat for protection. But a leaked hospital form reveals something else. Khazari's status, unaccounted. People are starting to believe the child has become the final key to the seal. Or worse, he's already been claimed. The world is watching. Chrisean is silent, and the seal beneath the stone is almost open. They thought the fire would stop it. They thought collapsing the Lord Church would seal it away. But the fire wasn't a failure. It was a signal. Because just beneath the charred ruins of St. Elijah's Church, excavation crews discovered a second chamber, one no blueprint ever revealed, carved directly into the bedrock, unreachable by human tools, surrounded by air that registered 12 degrees Celsius colder than the surface, and pulsing. They called in a private contractor, spiritual historian, a team of underground seismic researchers, and what they uncovered inside wasn't a tomb. It was a throne room. The final CHMBR, black walls, burned candles still warm, crude mural painted in dried blood across the stone, a woman giving birth in a pool of fire, a horned figure standing over her, and a child reaching upward, his hands not human. At the center of the room sat a stone chair, untouched by soot, draped in cloth, embroidered with a single word, Khazari. But that wasn't the final twist, not even close. The countdown BGI and etched into the back wall of the throne room was a series of ancient glyphs, which when translated read a prophetic timeline. At the center, a circle split into 7. Segments 6 were glowing faintly. The 7th, still dark, but pulsing. A coded message beneath it read, "When the 7th seal breaks, the gate will not open, it will collapse. And what lies beyond will become the world." The 7th moon is just one night away.